eject smooth. It must be shooting. Good afternoon and welcome back to Suburban Proletarian for the third video today in our Marlin shooting series. Today we're going to be taking a look at another classic lever action from Marlin. This one is not mine, this is my old man's, and as you can see, this is the 1895G guide gun. I believe that's correct. 1895G in the venerable old 4570 cartridge. Pretty much nothing on the planet you can't deal with some loadings of this cartridge. We've got some really old Winchester ammo here, so this is probably pretty soft. This is probably loaded to a sort of trapdoor Springfield safe velocities, but that's just fine for our shooting exercise today. These have jacketed or semi-jacketed lead bullets, 405 grain soft points, basically big, massive handgun bullets. I think this is actually a fairly thin jacket. These were, elk loads 75 years ago or something, not what we consider heavy 4570 loads today. This is one of the guide guns from when the guide gun first came out and became very, very popular. I don't know the exact year that this one was manufactured. Oh, actually, I can figure it out. 0. So that means this rifle was made in 2000. At the very tail end of the original Marlin company, it does have the JM proof mark on the barrel. So this is a classic old-fashioned Marlin. It's ported. It has an 18, I think this is an 18-inch barrel, and it's ported both out to the side and sort of obliquely on angles at the top here. I don't know if they're still porting the guide gun today. So as you can imagine, the muzzle blast is pretty spectacular with this rifle, but it's, especially with loads like this, it's really pretty forgiving to shoot. The action is essentially the same as the 336. It's just a matter of having a larger diameter barrel. The bolt face is probably a little bit different than what you'd get on a 30-30. Certainly different than what's on my 35 Remington. I think the magazine capacity on this is, well, it's obviously going to be fairly small. I'm not sure. I think maybe 4 rounds?
Something like that.
I think it's only 4 rounds. But if you need more than 4 rounds of 4570, you're in a tight spot. I like to have either aperture sights or open sights on most of my lever guns. But this is my old man's rifle. We've got a Burris full field 2-7 by 35. Really good, relatively low power variable hunting scope. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him do some talking about the rifle rather than me expounding on its virtues. And then we're going to go ahead and shoot it a little bit. This has a fairly classic style to it. You've got the straight grip and this square lever loop, which is desirable aesthetically. People really like the way this looks. I can be honest with you, I'm so used to shooting the 30-30 with the pistol grip and the curved loop. I really kind of like that ergonomically better, but I mean, this is just a really cool rifle. But let me turn it over to the old man and let him talk about it a little bit.
As Greg already said, I purchased this rifle in 2000 or maybe 2001 from a gun shop in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. Took it home, took it to the range, and was really disappointed with the feeding. You fire a shot work the lever, and you'd have to kind of work the lever 2 or 3 times before you get the second shell in. And I decided that was not acceptable. So I packed the gun up and I sent it back to New Haven, and Marlin did a super job. I think it went into their, what do you call it, custom shop, Greg?
Custom shop, yeah.
I think it went into the custom shop, and they did about 6 things to it. And I'm going to show you how it shucks shells right now.
So one thing is, I just want everyone to know, the range is clear. There's nobody else here. We're practicing proper trigger discipline, and the crossbolt safety's on. So go ahead, Dad.
How's that?
Pretty darn smooth. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shoot the old guide gun here. As I said, these are pretty much powder puff loads. These are old Winchester loads. You can see we've got a little bit of lead oxidation there. And you can see from this bullet crimp, I think these might even be old balloon head cases. These are mid-20th century. So I don't know that you'd even want to save this brass for making good heavy loads with. But anyway, we're not really shooting for accuracy. We're just going to let about 5 rounds go downrange here. Safety's off. Not eject smooth. I must be shooting high. Really want to hit that gong. Not bad. Not bad. As a matter of fact, I would say that the 35 Remington that we shot a couple months ago was a little bit stiffer than this is. So these are just great guns. All right, so that was the 1895G guide gun. No surprises there. I mean, this is a stone cold classic, and it is really desirable rifle. It was a huge sensation when it came out in the very late 90s. I think it's still one of Marlin's strongest sellers in their centerfire rifle lineup. And this one features good old-fashioned Marlin fit and finish. As a matter of fact, this is, although Marlin had clearly started to fall on hard times and they eventually got bought out, the fit and finish on this one surpasses my 336s from the early 1980s. Marlin had a brief renaissance, and then they fell into trouble. And they've had a rough patch, but as I'm sure many of you know, Ruger just acquired Marlin, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ruger can do with Marlin if they can bring them back to their former glory. They have a really strong track record of reviving discontinued products and making them better, and I'm wondering if they can revive the quality control standards that Marlin was always famous for with these rifles. But we're really fortunate to have this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, like, share, tell your friends. You know the drill. And when I come back with more shooting videos, I hope to see each of you here then. Later, guys.